Hey guys, welcome back. It's grimreaper coming at you for another video of Raidshadowlegends. Hopefully you're doing well, and hopefully you're looking after yourself and on a positive start. Obviously, we're back on my account today, and we're going to do some interesting shenanigans. Now, recently I have attained the mythical from Hard Faction Wars, which is potentially the hardest champion to gain access to in Raidshadowlegends. It doesn't matter if you're a Kraken or whatnot, because the grind for this champion is unreal. So yeah, she's a really kind of a hard champion to get and whatnot. So today we're going to do a full champion showcase on her. Obviously you guys might have heard that she's probably one of the most underwhelming mythicals right now in Raidshadowlegends. You can't access her by buying shards or anything like that, which I guess a few of you guys will be happy with, but for me, there's definitely some work to be done. So I'm not going to go over a kit or anything like that. There's no fun when you're dyslexic trying to go over a kit. A lot of people will get a bit upset if I start saying stuff wrong. So hopefully Fireheart, we're going to call it Fireheart for today's video, can live up to the standards. Now obviously there's rumors that she's not very good, but we're going to decide this in her showcase today. So we're going to do everything and whatnot. You also probably would have seen me speaking about her not being very good, but again, we need to test her out to today. Now I haven't booked her in today's video. I feel like booking her is just a waste of books, and unfortunately we do not get books in the content creator program. So the ones that I have saved are for champions I want to use on my account as I'm still a player. So today's video you're going to see what she can do without books. Now I've done Faction Wars already with her today, so she was perfectly open. She did pretty well, fairly good damage over the board and across the board. Couldn't be too upset. So we're going to be doing a rebuild with her right now, and I'm going to show you whatnot. Now she does ignore shields. We're going to be building her as a nuker, so we're going to be ignoring shields, so we don't need to go ahead with that. These are the masteries that I've chosen to go with for today's video. So let me go ahead and get the optimizer up and show you how we're going to build her. I've already put in an arena build for myself to be testing her a little bit in live arena. I haven't made my mind up on the build yet, but this is the build that I will be running her in for my account. There's a lot to still be finished, like rolling up gear and oil and stuff like that, but for today's video we're gonna put her in my best gear. Don't worry about Shredder. I've just been building Shredder on my account for live arena, as I'm planning to have a little bit of fun now that seasons is finished. And sometimes in life you have to have the little pleasures in life, right? And whatnot. So let me show you how we're going to build her on an optimizer. Optimizer is a free tool that you can use to build your champions with the best quality gear, as long as you understand on how to use optimizer. There is a few content creators who will show you how to use optimizer on streams and videos and whatnot. I like to kind of include them in here. So and whatnot. So we're going to go ahead and access my best gear for her for today, and we will be using her roughly around about 260 speed. For the optimizer on the stats, you want to be going defense to top row, defense on the chest, the critical damage, the speed, and then whatnot here as well. Let me go ahead and move my head so you guys can see on what I'm talking about. This is for the ascension for the stuff, right? You can see here for glyphs we go with 5 and 5 for today's video, because I'm using my best savage gear across the board. We don't want to go ahead and use any oil as I'm working on a build for her already. But for you guys, we're going to use the best gear possible. I'm actually going to swap over to lethal. So my recommendation is lethal and stone skin, or savage or instinct. Now will I use her? Potentially, if I can see some good results with her throughout today's video, then I might think about using her a bit more. She definitely got a few things in her kit which I would like to add to my roster, but if she's not worth the books, I won't go ahead and book her. Mesmal right now could be the next champion we're going to be booking on my account, but again, I'm saving up books for Mesmal for sure. So this is what we're going for here. So we've got 307 critical damage, 3,600 attack, and then 5,323 defense. Now, on her kit, it is really important to understand how her damage works. So you can see that she's basically a attack-based champion that has defense and attack. Now, with any champion that you see that has attack and defense, normally go by the first one, right, to build up the stats. So for example, you have defense attack here, so you want higher defense, and then whatever attack you can get, it is a bonus. There's other champions like Carnage, Rhodas, who have these type of the same issues as well. So you attack here, so you know to always use attack there. So that kind of hopefully help you understand on how to build her. Now I am missing a soul for her, which is going to be a big factor in her performance for today, which might not be the best showcase because again we're missing a soul and etc. And at my level you kind of need the souls, right? So these are the stats across the board. You can see here without the soul she is super squishy and whatnot. So we're going to be running her with Sifi because we're going to be using her with increased defense. Now I don't really have a bomb champion or freeze champion to enable the extra damage, so I'm going to keep it realistic today because she does bring out some burns on E3 and whatnot there. So we will go ahead and see and all right then, so we're going to use a team like this and we're going to see what we can do with her. We're in Platinum Arena. We're going to try and take on the best of the best defenses. We want to do a damage test to see what she can do with all her stuff as well. So we've got increased defense from Sifi. We're going to come in with a lockout. Empress is just in here to deal with any stone skin that Fabian does not deal with. We're going to go ahead and get polymorphed there, which I seem to be getting polymorphed a lot. We come in and just do this. Just do A1. Right, let me see here. So we're going to do a damage test on the A2 first. We have increased defense up, which is great. We're going to attack one enemy 3 times. I think we'll target the Sifi. See what kind of damage she can do. 31, 52, and then 43. So let me pop in and then pop back into this one. So you can see 103k damage on this ability. We want to go back into the same team. And then we'll try it again. And see what we can do, right? So I'm kind of looking at her because she ignores block damage. Ignoring block damage right now is meta because there's a lot of meta champions who have like some type of stay alive mechanics with the block damage, right? Which is a little bit annoying, but it is what it is. I'm actually just going to take out this Armand, or try to. And he survives by a sliver of his health. Okay, there we go. And then we're going to try and do this A3. Now we have a increased defense on me here. Now the reason is that on a passive, she does get additional 25% more damage if the enemies are under a freeze or a HP burn debuff. Now there isn't a lot of champions that can enable the HP burn, and there isn't a lot of champions that can do freezes. So trying to get like extra damage for a passive I feel is just unreasonable and is not going to be It's too situational for most of us. That's why I haven't tried bringing in like Torment to increase my damage, or I don't have Sulfurion, but Sulfurion or Gizmak would be the best two HU burn champions to throw with her to get additional this. So we're just focusing on increased defense, as that's where her most of the damage kind of goes to. And then we want to test this A3, so see how much damage we can do. We're not going to take out Empress because of that. Now we got a 33,000 damage there when we got 52 or 53 on the Fabian. Now I'm gonna be honest, it's a little bit disappointing with that. See, when we have my friend here, Empress, that can do way more damage than that, right? So it's a little bit disappointing. However, it is what it is. I do want to test the A1 damage on her as well. So again, we still have increased defense. A1 will attack one enemy, place extra hit if the target is under any debuffs. She is under a debuff and has a 75% chance of gaining an extra turn. Now that is a nice type of mechanic, so she's going to do like 54 and then 44 there. Didn't get the extra turn, but that's kind of a nice passive, right? Not passive, a nice A1 skill for sure. And then we can go ahead and take out his Empress with my Empress and whatnot. So you can see here, obviously, 169,000. And then we got Empress coming over 204. Now, Empress only did one damage ability, or two damage abilities, which they won. He's going to out damage her by like a long while. So he's a little bit underwhelming as a champion. Now, I do want to take on some teams with her and see what we can do. I want some teams that are strong but reasonable. So, for example, the Catrixia +4 is not a reasonable team. Let me try and take on this Narcissus here. The Narcissus could be a little bit interesting. We're going to use him for the Stone Skin Strip. We're going to use him to control, increase defense, and then Nuka. As a mythical, like Empress and Carnage, they're very, very good free mythicals. Now, she should be better because she's a lot harder to get. So I personally expect to have her stronger than champions like Gizmak Commodus because of how strong she is to get. I'm not talking about doing Chimera. We're not talking about doing Chimera, right? And getting her after 3 months, just doing Chimera normal. This content is extremely frustrating content. Anyway, I'm not going to go into that. I will make a video on faction wars and whatnot. So we're going to tag this enemy here. We do get rid of him. Unfortunately, the block revive is only on E3, which is a bit annoying. He should be locked out anyway. And whatnot, let me just do the A1. You see that we have got some burns going on. Instantly activates all the burns. So they should go up against the Stone Skin pretty nicely. Cool. Instantly activates all the Stone Skin. If she had like a burn on the free, if she had a burn on a passive, it would just be, I think it just makes her a lot stronger. Let me just do the A1 again. Don't want Empress to steal the limelight from her. So there is no debuffs out on anyone. So we won't get like a extra hit. But she will gain that, which is pretty nice. And again, let's see, can we do some shenanigans? Okay, you're gonna deal with that. I'm just sticking with Empress's first form because I'm trying not to make an Empress showcase. Anyway, so he has the A3 here. Should trigger the passive. Just not enough damage. Yeah, just not enough damage on that passive there, which is interesting. We go like this. Yeah, they're gonna die down to the passives. You see, he's under debuff, so we're gonna get extra hit. 80k each. Go ahead and go like this. Okay, cool. So she did put out some damage, 379, but it was in a 3-minute fight. So the team is not like crazy strong as well. This team is gonna probably break me. Okay, so we have got a Nice down here. We've got a Marius still with as well. So bit of a difficult team. Again, not crazy team. Because I just know deep down she won't be able to handle the crazy teams. Not without the relic and stuff anyway. Like a better relic and stuff like that. Maybe it's not so much her fault, more of a case of working with what we've got. Now we are missing damage on the books, etc. Which is interesting. I want to see if we can trigger his passive and kill him with the passive. We do trigger his passive, so that's quite useful. Looks like we got 3% hit on her, or weak hit, or whatnot. Another thing that I've kind of realized with her, she's very squishy. We go like that. Okay. Attacks of enemies. Let's see, can we kill the Nice? Let's see. She does ignore stuff like she does ignore bits and bobs on her passive, which is quite useful. I know I wasn't going to use him, but I'm going to get rid of him because he's a pain in the bum. And he was about to slap the whole team, so yeah, Empress again just doing this. And that's going to be a problem, is Empress is so easy to get. Probably like the easiest free champion you can like get. It's kind of interesting one, because someone was saying the other day that he's not really like a free champion. You have to go and grind on, right? But for me, I would say the free champion. So that's how I kind of look at stuff. We also did take her into Faction Wars today into like a merciless build, which I'll show when I show the rest of the gear and stuff. Unfortunately, we might get screwed on this. Now this champion's got block damage, so I'm kind of interested to see what we can do there. Let me do the A1, because we're trying not to do a brush showcase. We're doing a Fireheart. I will take her in live arena this week with season's finished. So whatnot. Okay, we have increased defense. Let's see what we can do. With this, we do proc the block damage. Go ahead and just do that. You go ahead and do that. E1 again. And then I guess we just do the first one. And then whatnot there as well. Now it's an interesting one for sure. It is a interesting one for sure. Now we haven't even looked at Form 2 as well. I don't think she super sucks. I feel like she's going to be very hard to use. Okay, this is a similar team here. We have Gizmac, Marius, etc. If we are faster, then if we're slower, we're going to have some issues. So Carnage is going to join us again, another free mythical. Pretty much, probably definitely for sure the second hardest mythical to get. Empress is the easiest and probably potentially the best mythical out of all of them for arena. It's kind of a hard one because it's probably like a very situational comment maybe. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to soak up some damage from the champions. Ouch. Again, a lot of turns. And Marius would go ahead and takes it down. Which is not great. Star Sage, honestly, is not a easy champion to use. Yeah, it's just very squishy, isn't she? That Sonic set really hurt. Let me go in. Let me come in and change this team. Because that Sonic set did hurt us. So let me swap out Sifi. Or let me swap her out and then come with Sifi like this. So we play lockout first. And whatnot. And void them to cut in on us. Head to go like this. Gotta love Lamassu. Again, Lamassu, great free champion. We should be able to keep our stuff. No, we lose everything. This sucks because I want to do a showcase and it's very, very, very difficult to do this when the Stone Skin doesn't want to stay on. So I want to give like the best situation possible. And whatnot. So let me see. We come into this again. Go to A3 there. Sifi for increased defense. Hopefully we survive the Star Siege. Whatnot. Okay, good. We do survive, and then we have to deal with our bias. We're just taking too much damage. Yeah, there's just not much I can do here. We're just taking too much damage. And yeah, I can't sell her, right? I can't sell her. She's struggling with that. I can beat this defense. This is the problem with her, right? She hasn't got enough in a kit. I just don't think she's got enough in a kit. I mean, if I come in with Commodus, as long as Commodus has always gear, you come in with Commodus like this, you flip around, you do all that. We only get one bomb there, but actually got enfeebled from the Gizmaker. I mean, he just won't die. There you go. I mean, and that's the thing, Commodus, I know it's not a fair comparison, but Commodus, you can feel the difference with Commodus. Anyway, but it's not like I'm trying to compare the two. It's just because I know that it's not so much the gear and stuff like that. So this is the final build then. We have the speed of coming at 261. It's a bit on the low end. Critical damage coming in with 332. Defense coming in with 5,300, and then HP. I feel like there is a few problems with her kit. I don't think she is like super awful, but there is a couple of things that's a bit too hard with the first form. And to be honest, I don't even know where you use the second form because I don't feel like it's a very arena focused right now. There might be some bosses, etc., where the second form will be really, really good. But to attack one enemy, I think this ability is great. I think that's a great one. I think that if this was a AoE, then this would be cool. But I wish that the burn was on the passive, similar to a Gizmak, so she can increase her damage. Because one of the things I'm feeling right now is her damage is just underwhelming, if I'm being honest. And I didn't feel this with Empress. Even without a soul, I don't feel this with Empress. I don't feel like his damage is underwhelming. So that's one thing that I'm kind of looking at this and it's like, it's too situational to get the freezes and the burns out. It's kind of a cool idea, but she does need a damage increase, if I'm being honest. Maybe with the books that will help a little bit, but how hard it is to get mythical books, then it's one of them ones. A better relic would be good, but again, I would probably just go with something like 1, so it wouldn't be much of a damage increase there. And obviously with the soul, I can't do nothing about that. It'd be nice if there was like some type of chest there that we could get the soul, and then maybe she's more playable. But overall, I don't think she is a crazy good champion. I'm gonna run her through Faction Wars now with some Faction Wars in the P vs E build, and I will come back after the music and I'll show you the P vs E build. So she wasn't too bad in Faction Wars in the hardest content. She actually made my run a lot easier, which replaced He-Man. So He-Man, mythical. You know, you guys can say what you want about that. So we went with a 6-piece merciless. Obviously, that increases the damage and whatnot. So with the Faction Wars here, we went with 40,000 HP. Again, very low HP. When you think about it, most Manukas are around about 50,000. Even Carnage is coming in at 52 on his first form, but as for a 6-star blessing. So very, very interesting HP. Defense and attack, which was fine. Speed was 301. Good critical rate, good critical damage. Didn't really focus on the accuracy because we had Venus in there to increase our burns. And again, same kind of stats across the board with them as well. So at the moment, will she make any of my teams? I don't know. I need to assess her a bit more in live arena to kind of see what she can do in live arena, because I am really curious about this ability. But for me, it just seems to be lacking damage right now, because like block damage and unkillable is a good counter to the undead mythical, which puts out unkillable. Block damage, which is like Sigford, nice. The block damage girl as well. It's going to be a bit of a situational one to try and learn with her. For now, will I book her? Probably not. I'm going to book Meza, and then in the future, if I have some extra books left over, then potentially we'll book her then. But I do feel like a damage increase is really, really needed on her kit and Form 1. I think if there's a damage increase on these abilities, and then maybe putting a burn on a passive and a freeze as well, maybe like activates the burns and then freezes everyone. One is submissive, still a problem for her, for sure, but that could be a really game changer for a passive. So then she gets a damage increase as well. Let me know down in the comments, guys, what do you think about POLARA Fireheart after today's video? And yeah, if you have her already, do you gonna use her or whatnot? It's kind of a little bit underwhelming to have such a hard mythical to get, but this might potentially be a mythical who's gonna spend some time in the vault. Speaking, I only have like 12 mythicals, so yeah, one of them ones. Anyway, guys, as usual, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Been Grim. I'll see you next one. Take care. Peace.